So anyway, let's talk about guns.
Boom.
Specifically, the two background check bills that, oh my God, I knew I was going to do this. I can't remember. I think they cleared the House and are going to the Senate.
You need an ID to get a gun, but not to vote. Just saying.
Well, that's partially true.
Yeah, I know some states.
So the funny thing is, at first I was like, when I was hearing that they were voting on these bills, I was like, oh God, what are they doing now? But then I actually like read what was in the bills, and I mean, one of them is actually pretty smart. The other one's kind of dumb because it doesn't go far enough, in my opinion.
I guess I haven't paid attention.
So
I didn't know they were
it got overshadowed with the COVID bill.
definitely.
They actually I know it passed the House because I was watching C-SPAN when they voted on the COVID relief bill, and then they immediately took up the gun control bills, as they call them.
Oh,
But they're not really gun control bills.
They're just stipulations on like.
Well,
background checks
they
and
have to
whatnot.
do with background checks. So basically, just kind of a synopsis of what we're talking about here, if you're unaware. One of them closes what's known as the Charleston loophole.
Mhm.
So basically, when you buy a gun through a dealer, you have to do a background check.
Yep.
Normally, that only takes minutes. However, occasionally, there's something in your record that's confusing and it doesn't come back instantly. The FBI, as it stands right now, the FBI has 3 days to conduct an investigation and get back to the dealer. If they don't, it's up to the dealer's discretion whether or not to sell the gun to you.
Hold that train of thought. Just for anyone out there who doesn't know, when you buy a gun online, when you go to pick it up from whatever dealer, you still have to pass a background check. FYI. Anyway, continue.
Is that true in every state?
Most.
I figured most, but that's the problem with gun laws.
I want to say that I'm pretty sure that's federal.
Well, but
anyone
you got to be careful though, because like that's part of the problem is a lot of the gun laws are really confusing because they don't apply in every state.
Well, that's
and
because everybody's changing it, changing up. It's like, just keep it simple.
Well, I mean,
have your background checks and whatnot, but just keep it simple. I mean, honestly,
I think that is part of the problem. I think a lot of it is complicated by the fact that a lot of states create their own laws that are either redundant or... but then you end up in situations like, okay, so California has some of the strictest gun laws, period.
Chicago as well.
Arizona has pretty lax gun laws. In fact, I think Arizona at one time or another, it may still be this way, Arizona may still be like the most liberal state when it comes to, not left liberal, like liberalism, freedom.
Yeah.
I think Arizona, it's certainly one of, if not the most, and I think they even beat Texas in terms of how liberal they are with their gun laws. Like, it's crazy. Like, literally, buy it.
They voted for Biden.
Well, again, like I said, that might have changed. But we'll see.
Anyway.
I mean, there are such a thing, like, they're a mythical creature now, but there are such a thing as Democrats that like to shoot stuff. They exist.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, everybody, when they hear Democrat these days, they think of crazy leftists. But you got to think the majority are just regular, centrists. They're not really like crazy leftists.
They agree on many of the same things. They just have a different way of going about it.
Yeah, they're not insane. And you have a lot of Republicans like that too. But the only ones who are getting airtime are the
loud, obnoxious ones.
Why is that? Because they get views.
Well, not only that, people tend to look at who yells the loudest. That's true of in a crowd. That's true of even in television, because you're gonna, it's what's the expression? The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
And if you're in Congress and you want to get your 15 minutes of fame, you just say, "We're gonna impeach that motherfucker,"
or you get a gotcha moment. But sometimes you put your foot in your mouth, like that Green chick. I can never remember. I always want to say Sonequa Martin Green, but I know I'm wrong because Sonequa Martin Green is an actress and does not believe that the Parkland shooting was an inside job or a false flag.
I can't remember her name.
I don't know. She's insane.
She's the one who already filed articles of impeachment on, was attempting to, on Biden. And I'm like, can we just fucking stop?
For
Like,
real, yeah. Now because now it's a back and forth. Now it's a gotcha.
I mean,
What exactly are you gonna try to impeach Biden on as of right now?
you don't even have to worry about impeaching him. I mean, dude can barely walk upstairs. This
You
second
know,
time.
it's funny.
Second time.
It's funny. It's funny.
The
That's
second
the.
video.
It's Gerald Ford all over again.
He's too old.
Except, well, and that's a true statement because Gerald Ford was just clumsy one time and it became a
Right.
thing. Like it's a
Oh,
thing that he was
jeez.
known for. He slipped and fell one time, but then Chevy Chase did that skit on Saturday Night Live, which is hysterical.
I've never seen it. I guess I'm
Oh God, it's so funny, and it's a skit that only Chevy Chase could do, because completely serious.
I feel bad for Biden. Like, I don't look at him and I'm like, oh, you're fucking idiot of this. And I'm like, I feel legit bad for him because, like, I feel like did you ever watch the movie Weekend at Bernie's? That is exactly what is going on right now.
Did you see the meme that went around when Bernie was running for president?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love the internet.
It's a beautiful thing. It also takes up way too much of people's time. But it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So anyway, so this new bill, essentially, and see, that's the other thing, is they're saying they're going to close the loophole. What they're really doing is just extending it. They're extending it from 3 days to 10 days for the FBI to conduct an investigation.
Well, I mean, that kind of helps because 3 days is kind of a, like, you got to,
Yeah, but
how many are
okay,
coming
so
in?
here's my deal.
Damn chocolate bar.
Well, I look at it this way. Like, to me, that number is arbitrary. If the FBI feels that an investigation is warranted, then I'm sorry, your ass has to wait. Period. Now, and full disclosure, I'm gonna piss off both sides tonight.
I'm already pissed. No, I'm just kidding.
No, because there are people, and they make a legitimate claim. It's like, well, what about what about in the case of a single mother whose baby daddy or whoever like was in prison and is now out of prison, like she needs protection now, and it's like, well, but let's think about it this way.
She had plenty of time knowing when he was going to get out.
Maybe not. Maybe there was
Anyway,
something.
let's
Well,
finish
like
your
because
thought.
no, that actually came up a couple of times when COVID hit because a lot of people got released early because of
Oh, that's right.
things like that. Now, but here's the thing, and to quote Ben Shapiro, you cannot take a single incident and base policy on it.
That's true.
There are ways, and again, I don't have all the answers, but I think that if we would approach this argument like sane people on both sides, fuck you, buddy. We can look at a situation like that and say, okay, what can we do to protect those instances? Like, surely but here's the other thing is you cannot craft a perfect legislation that covers every single base. You have to look at what happens the majority of the time. And the fact of the matter is, I think something along the lines of like 97% of those background checks happen in minutes.
I do not feel for those people writing bills.
Oh, no, I don't either.
Oof. But yeah.
So, but anyway, and then the other one, it literally just expands background checks to all purchases, period, which would close the gun show loophole. Now,
all purchases, does it include ammo?
No, just to purchase the firearm.
Okay, just checking.
Now, there are exclusions in the form of a relative can still give you a gift, and that doesn't require a background check. So, like, your dad can still give you your first gun or whatever.
But like they buy it from the store and then bring it home, but the thing is they'd have to pass a background check.
Correct.
And if they plan on intending on gifting it, though, it's like that's a big one.
Well, but there you go. There's kind of like, and there are already laws against, so, and this specifies relatives. And there are laws on the books already against buying a firearm for the sole purpose of giving it to someone who cannot legally buy a firearm.
Okay, so obviously it would have to be somebody who legally can possess one.
Correct.
And